Hello, my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters. Biko ya mara onye ọbụla mma o. Onye ọbụla chiri ebe o chiri ya zero. Ọ ga-adịrị nwoke mma dịrị nwaanyị mma. Biko ihe ọma mere m ya mere ibe m. Asa akịrị gbara m ya gbara nwunye di m. Ọ ga-adịrị anyị mma na eke n'orie na afọ na nkwọ. Ngwanụ anyị ebutekwa ozi a nke si na page this our brother who is always vocal when he is defending the territorial and also the tradition of the Igbo culture. By name, Ihede, the light of Africa. Things fall apart. Well, in this message, you might not agree with him totally. You might not also agree with my own assertion. Messages are meant to be preached and people are meant to listen. Nobody is going to by force you to take, to partake on whatever that have been said on this video or rather on this message. And nobody is going to put gun or knife or whatever on your head for you to believe on whatever has been said on this very particular message. But let us also not forget that before the white man came to Africa, there is Chukwudi, there is Uche Chukwu, and that means they have the gods they are worshipping before the inception of white men. And if we forget to adhere or rather acknowledge our ancestors, my brother, know it that we are not going to live forever on this earth. Someday, sometime, years to come, decades to come, we all are going to become an ancestors. Then what happens? When our own generation forgot or rather leave us and be acknowledging other people's ancestors, because Jesus Christ happens to be the ancestors of the West, not our own ancestor. We don't even know what he committed. All we know is what they tell us, to agree by faith. And that is why you see the country is keep on falling day in, day out. Because our politicians, anything they do, look at Okpebolo going to church to give a testimony that it was God who made him to win election. Wait, where everybody knows. Can he ever come out and tell us that it was the God of iron, the God of thunder, the ancestral gods in his own village that made him to win that election? If he survived the next day, let me know what in cause him. If you put all our politicians by force that all of them should be swearing not by Bible, not by unknown forces, not by imaginary God, which are written in the Bible, which all of them have already studied. All of them, they are all graduates, so don't forget. They know about all these games. That's why you see they play the game with all these pastors. Because they know that they are lying to the people. If any of them can come out and say, okay, they are going to swear in with Ogu, the God of iron or God of thunder. My brother, all the whole local government chairmen, councillors, senators, and all of them that are keep on swearing that I'm going to uphold the constitution of whatever they mention. My brother, none of them will ever go close to that seat again, because they know that whatever that is had to do with integrity is far from them. That's why you see even Tinubu or Tinubu will come out and tell you that whatever that's happened today is the will of God. Are you okay? So it is the will of God that the people should suffer and die of hunger while they are wallowing. I mean, their leaders are wallowing in many. A country that is blessed with everything that has to do with mineral resources, that no any country on this surface of the earth can be able to come out and contend with Nigeria, not even Saudi Arabia or Dubai. All those what they have is oil. We have every mineral resources that West need. In other words, Nigeria is supposed to be one of the richest and best country anybody can try to travel to. But look at it. All of them are swearing with the Bible that the white men bring to us. And at the end of the day, what they will tell you now is allow God to judge. Oh, allow God to judge. Anyway, listen to Ihede, the light of Africa. You might not agree with him, but please, if you are a pastor, you are a preacher of the gospel, whoever you are representing, listen to this message, digest it. Growing up as a child, if you can tell yourself the truth as an Igbo man, I don't know about other religions, you will hear when either your mother or your father will be making a kind of assertions, or rather, they keep telling you, when you add one thing or two things or three things, they will tell you, look at this person that reincarnated. But the church will tell you that nothing like reincarnation. For me, I am Okoro Duru Anyehe. In other words, my own, I represent a community. I am a head of a community. That is who I reincarnated. Me. Okoro duru anyehe. Anakpo ya ahishishi. Okoro duru anyehe. That according to my own language, where I came from. So I represent a leader. You understand me? It was recently I begin to understand what that means, because anywhere I go, any organization I belong, they must surely want to make me the leader, even when I'm not ready to take up that challenge. So I represent a kindred, Okoro Duranyehe. In my own village that where they call Okoro Duranyehe, we have our own meeting. So in that gathering, I am the head of that gathering. I reincarnated. But I'm not talking about I'm the head now, but I am the head in my past life. So let us begin to acknowledge our ancestors. Let us go back to our roots. In this message, this guy spoke, he made some points that when I begin to listen and digest all these things, I found out that we are very, very far and we are in for a long ride. Please don't say I talk too much. I want you to understand what you're about to listen, so that you will not judge when you begin to hear the message that I give you another headline while the message is speaking another headline. So please help me like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. Let us listen to Ihedi Africa. That is Ihedi, the light of Africa.
That please. Anyone who stole what does not belong to him is mandated to return that thing back to the owner.
Sorry,
There was a deity in your village. The assignment of this deity is to make sure that anyone who stole what does not belong to him is mandated to return that thing back to the owner. And so all of a sudden, a man came with a Bible to your community and told you that this deity that mandates people who stole what doesn't belong to them is evil. And so you said, what was the reason? What made it an evil? He says it's because it is a sin. What the reason? What made it a sin? He says it's because God says it's a sin. He didn't provide any reason of what made this thing, this deity, an evil demonic deity. And then he says, okay, we agree. What then is the new deity you are introducing to us? He says, we came with a new God. This God will actually forgive those who stole your properties. He will usher them forgiveness of sin. And so Africans accepted and formed that deity whose assignment is to mandate that person, anybody who stole what doesn't belong to him returns it back, whereas retaining the deity that forgives sinners for stealing what does not belong to them. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. The assignment of this deity is to make sure that nobody drag your land. It ensures and respects land boundaries. And so that deity preserves the integrity of the ownership of land according to how it was shared in your community. And all of a sudden, a man came with a Bible and told you that deity is an evil deity. You said, what made it an evil? He says, it is because it's a sin. It's a sin. What is the reason for making it a sin? He says, God says it. Let God be true and let all man be a liar. He says, okay, which deity, which God do you have for us now? He says, we came to you with a new God. This God offers forgiveness for those who will drag your land. And automatically, the court become a full place for land issues, because they know once we take away that God that ensures there is no land dispute in the villages, automatically we are opening the chambers of business for the lawyers and the courts, so that at least the lawyers can be feeding. Once upon a time, there is a deity in your village. The assignment of this deity is to ensure that the life of the people is protected. It is ensured that any place you are going, you are covered like a new umbrella. It offers you protection. It empowers the boys to prepare themselves and fight and defend their land. This one doesn't fight for it. The people are equipped with the energy to defend and fight for their defense. A man came and says, no, that's deity that actually empowers boys to go and fight and defend their land is an evil deity. We came to you with a new God. That God, leave vengeance for God. Vengeance belongs to God. God will fight your battle and you shall hold your peace. And automatically, they knew that if God wanted to fight your battle, God would have at least restricted battle from even starting at all. What God cannot prevent, God cannot solve. That God was waiting somewhere and somebody came and killed my father. And so when I need the empowerment to go and reiterate, to make sure that I defend my land, God says, no, you don't fight that person that killed your father. Wait, vengeance belongs to me. So God wants an extension of a lineage. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. Anytime a newborn baby is given birth to, maybe in form of a snake, maybe in form of a monkey, the snake will come into your compound, into that room. and rest upon the newborn baby. What it does is that it puts the newborn baby on a solid rock. This one was enshrined in your lineage according to your ancestral lineage. And so it preserves the lifespan of that child. Any place the child finds himself, he knows I have a place where I am covered with an umbrella that nothing can ever sabotage my...
Listen with a better understanding. Please be civic when you comment. All very, very necessary and very, very important.
Existence is real. Somebody came and says no. That's God that actually comes to welcome a newborn baby is evil. We come to you with a new God. This God doesn't even come and we don't see it at all. But what we know is that when you born a newborn baby, bring him to us. We will pour water upon him and we baptize him and give him a new name. That is the only criteria the boy have. So today your son is walking like a fowl without any guarantee. The boy can die anywhere, anyhow. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. What that deity sponsors is that nobody wastes the blood of anybody. If you waste the blood of anybody, kill anybody in that community, that deity will automatically fight you till you die. Somebody came and says that God that preserves the wasting of blood is an evil demonic deity. But there is a new God we came to you about. This God actually forgave Cain when he killed his brother Abel. So even when your brother killed you, we already made available forgiveness in abundance for him. When we call Jesus Christ a criminal, we have proof. But when they called our idol evil, they have no proof. What they say is that it was a sin. It is a sin. Is it a reasonable explanation? What made it a sin? Sit down with a Christian. Come and sit here. Let two of us discuss so you can make me understand what made idol worshiping a sin. Because actually we don't worship idol. We commune with idol. We are one in this. It is technology of oneness. We neither bow down to anything. We don't worship. It is the collective mindset of our people. Our people says that the mind of the people is the mind of the world, the gods. So the community leaders assembled and agreed on this and planted their offer on it. It does not, there's no God anywhere who sponsors that result. No, it is the mindset of the people. So when we are talking about deity, we are talking about the collective mind of the people to institute governance backed up with spirituality among them, because the only insulator that will shield a black man from harming his fellow black man is only black man magic, only black man spiritual power. Once you take away that black man spiritual power that was built on the principle of consequences, you reintroduce a new God that was built on the principle of forgiveness, because you know that it is in the forgiveness that the business of the Western culture can be driven. Many of the police cases that are treated today would not have been treated if people are fearing consequences. But you destroy the God of the consequences, and then you went and built prison. All our prison today are full of our young boys who are captured in the crucible of forgiveness that have been made available to them by the criminal Jesus Christ. A nation that worship criminal will all be criminalities. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. It ensures that all married women are faithful to their husband. What it does, any married woman become afraid anytime they think about going outside to sleep. The loyalty of the woman is under their husband by force, by mandatory law of consequences. A man came and says, young man, that deity in your village that preserves the chastity of your wife, at least that ensures that all children that was born in your compound belong to you. He said that deity is evil. He says, what made it evil? He says, it's a sin. Young man, it's a sin. Is it a reason? What made it a sin? He says, God said it. Let God be true and let all man be. And he says, okay, we agree with you. Which other God did you come for? He says, I came with a God. This second God, what it will do, that it will help the reverend fathers and your pastors to bear your own children in your own house as a man. Feel pain with me reasonably. There are many African men today who are training the children that were given birth to that were born in their family by their pastors. Because the Bible already know that once he comes without any that law, it will make girls, women their loyalty will now be with their pastor instead of being with the husband. There was once a God in your village. It was not a God, it's the collective mind agreement of the people, because I know there is no God anywhere in the sky. There is no God anywhere that was God of everybody. No. The people agree and institute, with their collective mind, institute their spiritual system of guidance. I know there is no God, but we know there are forces that exist which men agree to make manifest the result they want. The only black man insulator is his spirituality. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. That deity was based on the principle of Fofo. It was given to the hands of elders. When an elders come and they begin to have issue, these men gather and assemble. If they hold that offer, it mandates them to only speak truth. That is the type of leadership that was available in the days of your ancestors. What it preserves, that it makes sure that everybody that administers justice will never ever think about going to collect bribe. Because he already knows the consequences that was made available in that days. A man came and says, no, that's justice, that deity that was built on Ofo is an evil deity. He says, but we came to you with a new God. This God doesn't have Ofo. We will give you politicians, when they go and steal your money, if you complain, we ask them that if you have not steal, be the first to throw a stone. We give you a politician, when you complain of their irresponsibility, they will tell you that don't judge so that you will not be judged. When we call Jesus Christ a criminal, we know he came to provide immunity for evil. He came to destroy the principle of consequences and give people freedom of all evil violations. Once upon a time, there was a God in your village. You that is listening to me this morning, you have went home to your village and burnt your father's shrine. That shrine that your ancestors planted in their compound that made your ancestors to marry 3 women, and all of them remain under total submission and leadership of the man. You went out of your zealousness and burnt that shrine. Young man, you will suffer terribly in life until you go back and visit back. You will suffer terribly back until you go back and reinstitute that energy that governs the law in your home. Until you visit back, you will discover, you will struggle all the days of your life without knowing what you do. This one is not any God in the sky. This one is the collective mind agreement of the people in your land that shelters their longevity and progression. Somebody persuaded you to go and destroy it. I came with a light. This light comes in completeness of knowledge. That is the difference between African Renaissance. In African Renaissance, our leaders in Communist Party of Africa will be enthroned with our Ofo system. So when they are acting on the principle of consequences. We don't even need to be there. The black man camera, CCTV camera, is our spiritual system. It showed us. When you come in every village in those days, you will see they say we don't kill this particular animal. Maybe in this river we don't kill fish in this river. Maybe we don't kill snake here. Maybe we don't kill monkey here. That is what the people in that village fears, that put upon them the consciousness that there is a force here who can actually pay you back for the evil you do, even when your eye is not seeing it. In my village in Oboka, when we are pursuing an animal and that animal run to Anyo Fiene, you will withdraw back. You will never go inside that bush to kill any animal that enter Anyo Fiene. Nothing will actually put the consciousness in the people that if there is a forest that can preserve the life of an animal, if I am to swear in the name of that prophet or do evil, that land that protects common animal will kill me. Somebody came and says your own idol worshiping is evil. I want a Christian to come and sit down. Let us talk so that he can make me understand with reasonable facts what made idol worshiping an evil. That is my center of interest. Sit down, let us understand. But the problem that a Christian have no understanding, because Bible have already told them in Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, trust on the God with all your heart and lean not on your understanding. So all the things a Christian do is not built on understanding. Everything a Christian did is built on faith. God says it. The voice of the Holy Spirit says. That's why you cannot argue with a Christian for 5 minutes without the Christian telling you that you need the Holy Spirit to understand. Because he was not built on understanding. He was built on the voice of superstitions. And the life reality is independent of your faith or your belief. So we call for the organic resurrection. I don't know what to destroy in your father's house. This is the time for you to go back and visit right. There was a time when everybody in your village knows in our community you cannot use us for any charm or any evil. No, you can't. Because we know where we are coming from. We cannot die outside. There was a time in your village where if young boys are coming to a particular age, in Imo State, in Abia State, in Enugu, they will initiate those boys into what is called the oath of secrecy. That is the oath of maturity into manhood. When that boy comes into that community, they say you are now a man. They will give the boy principle of the things the boy will not do. They will say don't sleep with a woman when she's on her menses. They will say don't kiss a woman outside in an open place. They give the boy rules that constrains and bring the boy into manhood. And so when the boy comes to that technology, the boy knows I am protected by a new energy. When the boy speaks before a woman, women are afraid of him. Today we have mentored men who their wife have no fear about, because the woman has finished sin. In fact, the woman have called the man a better half. That means the man is not even a complete human being. The man is a half, and the conclusion of the man is another woman. That's why you need to join our WhatsApp group. Where I will make you to be a man, not a better half. Where I will make a man to know that he's not a soulmate of any woman. Women that our ancestors control, and if we don't control women, there's nothing like African Renaissance. These people has been empowered by the West to go and kill our men. You must be a man to defend and fight. I must just love out of you. There is no love that will be left in your heart for any woman. What will be in your heart is to lead this home, bring this woman in your home, let them produce children for the purpose of our societal growth. A man is born to love his society. A woman is born to love her husband. It's time to restructure again. Go back and fix what you destroyed. It's is not any God in the sky. It's the collective voice agreement of the people in your village that ensures justice in their home. And since you burn that shrine, you will discover that your life will be in terrible catastrophe till you do what is called self-rediscovery. It's not in the realm of argument. It is in the realm of assurance that which was in the beginning, which we have seen, which our hands have handled of the word of life, that we bring upon you, that is the voice that preserves the longevity and progression of the survival of a generation. That is the people's spiritual system. Time again to restructure that which was lost. That is African cultural heritage, African spirituality, and the foundation of our awakening. African polygamy at the roof, at the walls. Then Christianity, the dismantling of Christianity with all, because Christianity is the highest crime that happened in human existence history. Thank you so much. Time.
So my people, I don't hear and finish you. I know say many people will disagree with him on some assertions, and many will also agree with him. But I must tell you the simple truth, my dear. This guy need to be protected at all costs, because he is spoiling business for a lot of people who. What this guy is saying and what Matthias Isaac is saying is the real truth and nothing but the truth. If you are still waiting for an imaginary God to come to your rescue, my brother, and besides, they keep telling you going to church will make you rich, my brother. Going to church or doing traditional can never make you rich. That is the simple truth. The richness comes from your hard working. Have your own product. Advertise it and let the world know you. That is where you get the riches. Not going to church or going to ordinana. So let us differentiate these two. Quickly, let us discuss from the comment section. This one, Onyewuchi Donald said, this boy should be protected at all costs. Johnny Cruz said, Africa should learn from this guy so they could be free from this mental slavery called religion. Marvey said Okonkwo and his people were living peacefully until the white man brought Christianity. Ofunwa said, I apologize to my ancestors. I talked down on their efforts and hated them because of non-existent Jesus. Never again. Let me comment before watching. At the mention of Inhedi, all believers depressed. Obonna Matthew said, how many wives have your fathers married then, and how many children survived lives? Some married to 3, 5, 10, or even more wives, but very few of their children survived. Why? Where were the other children born in the family? Of course, they had all died. I mean, swallowed up by those spirits the fathers are worshipping. Lie. You see, it on that one data. Anyway, I don't need to even read this comment. Austin Onyeka said, my brother, I wish this deity is still active now. Africa could have been a better place. William Udefe said, the white men that brought this Bible are the ones running around Africa, carrying all the gods that was protecting our ancestors to their place. If there is no secret behind, why are they carrying our idols to their place after they have initiated Bible to us? Matthias Isaac, Gospel of Truth, said, great message. Wow. Matthias Isaac, for you to come to this page, my brother, this guy don't blow. Nadi Idoma said, the one paining me is the increase in rate of cheating by women these days. It's alarming. We need that particular deity in every community in Nigeria now. We have lived in a society whereby the women now are killing their husbands just simply because they want to answer single mothers. Simply because they want to remain on top. That this kind of thing exists in the past. Nothing of such. If you try it, the deity, the gods of our land will turn against you, and there's some people run mad because of this act. But we have been living in a faith. Allow God to judge, and your name maybe. Ayolomi Temida Yosma said, we want a Christian who will sit down with him and say what he's saying is lie. Okay? Not true. Marcelino Chukunta said, my brother, Western religion has done more harm than good to our society. Nobody is doubting about that. The wise one said, my problem is this Jesus did not even notice you. Why you are attacking Christians and their faith? Why can't you attack Muslims? What in Jesus Christ do you if you no one believe in him? You face your own religion. How I wish I know you face to face. I know you face to face, and you go and murder him, right? And now that is the truth now. Christians killed, but they say his Christian does not kill. My brother, Christian killed more than the Muslims. Christian kills more than the Muslims. Go to the Bible. All you keep hearing, go and kill them and conquer. Go and kill them and conquer. Go and kill them and conquer. There's no any place you say, go there and forgive them. But after killing them and conquer, that is the typical example of Westerners to Africa. Go and kill them, take their golds and their silvers and their diamonds, and bring it to us for us to develop our own region. Then when they do all these things, they bring Bible to us and tell us anyone who kill your brother or your parents, you need to forgive him. Go to their own side and kill my brother. They will sentence you to jail to death by firing squad. But they bring Bible to you to confuse you, to take away your principles and make you to believe on all this imaginary faith that never existed anywhere. Anyway, my people, the comments are many. I cannot continue, but now here, me I go take a bar breaky. More comments, let us discuss at my own comment section. I'll be right back. Like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing for more interesting videos. Que Messiano, my wonderfully made Biafran brothers and sisters.